Yo, what's good? It's your boy Bobby W223. And so I'm gonna do my review for Suicide Squad. Now, I don't know how much I'm gonna get into spoilers. I just kind of jumped into it, but I went and saw the movie Thursday night. Went and saw it. I guess technically that's not the opening night. It was Friday, but they had the movie pretty much running all day Thursday, so I went and popped in, checked it out, and I gotta say it was really good. I kind of went in with lower expectations. Not gonna lie, I don't really know as much about this story plot as I do other comic book movies and stories and things like that. But I had heard some other reviews from other people and things like that before, and a lot of folks were saying it wasn't that good. But I thought it was cool. I thought it had a nice balance of comedy mixed with the action and everything like that. This is pretty much, I would say, the closest thing to a Guardians of Galaxy, but for DC. You know what I'm saying? Like a little more darker, a little more, I guess, violent and serious, which that's usually how DC they kind of roll more that way. But of course, you have Will Smith being, yeah, the biggest actor in the movie. He's got good comedic delivery and things like that. So you had a nice, balance with especially his character Deadshot and I forget the woman who played Harley Quinn, but her as well, given great comedic timing and a comedic delivery when need be, but at the same time you had great action. The plot was cool. Typical kind of thing, but I thought it was nice how they showed the characters beforehand before they all basically got locked up, like with Deadshot. You see that he's a hitman and everything like this, and then they show a clip of him and his daughter, just walking downtown, whatever the case may be, and Batman comes out and he's the one that stops him, everything like this, and they kind of they kind of go into that, and they go into Harley Quinn and show how she became crazy, which most folks know. She was a counselor or psychiatrist for the Joker, and she ended up falling in love with him, and then he ended up talking her into jumping into the, I don't know, the vat of poison or whatever that he falls into in the whole Red Hood story arc. And she goes crazy and becomes Harley Quinn as we know her. I forget the names of some of the other characters. Diablo, the Latino character. He's pretty much the only one I would say out of that bunch that really has actual superpowers. He's basically like a pyro. He can control fire, everything like this. And you saw at the end of the movie, he turns into like a giant Diablo. Basically, it was pretty sick. There's this Australian guy who's like a thief, and he's got this cool boomerang where he can I guess it's like a camera on it or something like that. It's almost like a Batman batarang where he can basically look, he could throw the boomerang and then look on his phone or whatever and kind of like surveillance the area from with the boomerang, because it has some sort of camera on. I think he can like control it or something like that. It was kind of cool. There's a few other characters, but the main people was pretty much Deadshot and Harley Quinn were kind of the two main people, because obviously you got Will Smith playing Deadshot, biggest actor in the movie, and then Harley Quinn, one of the more I guess popular DC characters, especially for that movie. And then of course you have the Joker, who's not a part of the Suicide Squad, but I like how they kind of mix him in there, and I do like the take that Leto, I believe his last name, first name Leto. I'm sorry, I don't know like these folks' names, but yeah, Leto, Jared Leto, I believe, who played Joker. It was a nice mixture between Mark Hamill's version of the Joker from the Batman animated series from the '90s, but then also Heath Ledger's portrayal of him, which was the last real on-screen portrayal. So obviously he has some big shoes to fill, and you can kind of see how he incorporated some of the other versions of the Joker, but then kind of also made it his own. I kind of like how he was pretty much like a mafia kind of dude. Like he always kind of reminded me of the Penguin in the Gotham TV show, but still the Joker. But he kind of had that whole thing going on, so it was kind of cool. It wasn't like he was just some loner who maybe just found like one or two goons to kind of help him out, and he just kind of you know, willy nilly going around doing his thing. Like he was, you know, kind of almost like a, no, I want to say like a kingpin, but you know, kind of had this whole mafia type of thing going. You know, that was dope. And basically the whole, I guess, villain aspect of it. This lady, she goes to, I believe, like South America or something like that, and there's this like old, like super old, like little small statue, and she breaks it by accident, and then this witch basically, like, she got sealed inside of that, so then she possesses this woman. And I guess the only way that they were able to control her, the main lady who's kind of like the leader of Suicide Squad, everything like this, she takes the heart of this witch, the enchantress, or whatever you say her name, took her heart so she can pretty much threaten, like, yo, if you get out of hand, you know, I can easily kill you. I, you know, have your heart, which I guess her soul, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, she, you know, super powerful. She can teleport. She can possess people. She's a witch, so she's super powerful and magical, and do all these things. And it got to a point where I guess the girl just kind of couldn't really control her anymore, and basically the way that she brings her out, she says her name, and then she transforms it into her, and then she would transform back when the woman would tell her to, because she had her heart, things like this. And the girl was sleeping or something like that, and then she said it in her sleep, and then she ended up turning into the witch and then teleporting to where they were holding the other little statue, which had her brother in it. So then she broke the statue and freed him, and was talking about how, you know, we're, you know, thousands of years, you know, since the last time we were free, and da da da. And he went and possessed some dude in the subway and pretty much turned this giant red, like, demon looking dude. So they're you know, they're like, oh, you know, the people nowadays, they don't worship us, they worship machines. So her whole thing, the witch's whole thing was like, look, I'm gonna basically create my own doomsday device, my own doomsday machine, and, you know, pretty much destroy all humans. I mean, it's just typical, you know, villain. I'm gonna take over the world. I'm gonna kill the people. Pretty typical in that aspect, but it was pretty cool to see seemingly regular people take on these two powerful beings. You know, even though you had, you know, Deadshot, like I said, he, you know, really cool. He's like a hitman. Basically, he never misses. So think, I don't know, just like a hitman or an assassin mixed with a Bullseye from Daredevil. And I keep making all these comparisons to Marvel, but yeah, like he can never miss unless he chooses to. You know, Harley Quinn, she's super crazy. You know, all the other guys in there were, you know, master thieves pretty much, and hitmen, or, you know, not hitmen, but like, you know, master thieves, I guess you could say, anything like this. But they're taking on these super powerful beings. Meanwhile, the Joker the entire time is trying to figure out a way to break Harley Quinn out. You know, so it's kind of funny. You almost have these two dynamics going on, and then he ends up freeing her, and he's trying to pick her up in this helicopter, and then they end up blowing the helicopter up. She falls and somehow survives. And then you don't see the Joker for the rest of the movie, but of course I'm like, okay, I know they did just kill the Joker at this point in the movie, and then at the very end you see the Joker, him and his goons dressed up as like security guards, like police guards or whatever, and they break in to save Harley again at the very end of the movie, and they kind of cut off there, you know. But yeah, it was a good movie, so I don't want to get too far into everything that happened, but like it was cool. Like, you know, the characters were cool, nice chemistry, everything like that. It wasn't the best superhero movie I've seen, or I guess comic book movie, because technically this wasn't superhero movie, which is something else I thought was cool too, because it was really a movie about villains. You just had somebody essentially controlling them throughout majority of the movie, so they were there to quote unquote save the day from the good guys' screw ups. You know, and the whole reason why they put this team together is because, you know, Batman versus Superman quote unquote dies from Doomsday, which we all know he's coming back. You know, even at the end of Batman versus Superman, they show Superman, or they hint Superman coming back. You see the ground moving and shaking and stuff like that. So we know he's gonna be back for the Justice League, obviously. But as far as in Suicide Squad, I guess he's still gone, or they think he's still dead or whatever. So the I forget the woman's name, but the one that pretty much wrangles them all together. She's like, yo, what if the next so-called Superman or super being isn't like Superman? He's not so nice and he's not on our team. Then what do we do? We need somebody. Of course there's Batman and things like that, but Batman pretty much does what Batman's gonna do anyway. So they're like, look, we got to make sure we have somebody or a team of people that we can count on the next time something like this happens, and then not for our team. They're basically like, look, we got lucky that Superman was a good guy, but what if the next person like that isn't? Then what? So that was kind of how that whole thing stemmed from, everything like that. But it was cool. I enjoy it. I give it an 8.5. I say an 8.5 out of 10. Like I said, some of the characters, like some I feel like were a little forgetful, and I heard that they have a lot of deleted scenes with the Joker. So kind of feel like they could have done more with them, but at the same time, I understand that this wasn't his movie. The same way with Batman, he's there a little bit at the beginning just to kind of show that this is the same universe and to explain how some of these villains got captured and got arrested and put in jail in the first place. So I feel like they had enough of Batman and the Joker in there, but at the same time, it would be nice to see whichever of them a little more. But I get that this is not their movie. If they do another standalone Batman movie, which I believe they're going to do, or maybe even the Justice League, they could have the Joker in there a little more. I get that this isn't his movie, and Batman or the Joker, so I feel like it would have been bad if they would have focused too much on either of those characters, but at the same time, it would be nice to see just a little bit more, or just sprinkled in, especially the Joker, maybe not so much Batman. But far as the majority of the main characters, I thought that they were cool. Don't remember all their names. There was like the head guy of the military who was kind of leading him, and he was the boyfriend of the woman who's possessed by the witch and everything like that. But it was dope. It was overall was good. Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course, yeah. Killer Croc. Couldn't think of his name. Yeah. Killer Croc. That's somebody else. I forgot. Yeah, Killer Croc. He was funny. He's just pretty much like a giant crocodile, man. I mean, you guys all know Killer Croc. He was pretty funny. They were towards the end of the movie, they were all getting kind of their requests for basically what they wanted, because they all had to eventually go back to jail, but they got, I think, like a day to be free, and then they all had to come back. I forget what everybody asked for, but they get to Killer Croc, and he's like, "Yeah, I want to be able to watch BET in my cell." And then it cuts to him in his cell. He's like watching TV. It's just like a bunch of women shaking their ass and shit. Just like, what? But yeah, Killer Croc, he was actually pretty funny too. He didn't talk that much, but when he did, it's pretty funny. Pyro, his little backstory, I thought that was pretty interesting about how he felt like he couldn't really control his fire powers, and he ended up accidentally killing his wife and his kids, because when he gets too angry, his fire just kind of just goes everywhere. He basically blew up his whole house and just destroyed the whole house, killed his family. And throughout the first bit of their mission, he doesn't even want to fight, because he is afraid he's going to hurt people. And then he uses fire a little bit, and then towards the end, when they go to fight the witch's brother, he turns into the giant Diablo thing. But yeah, it was pretty cool, when he transformed. Sorry, my mic kind of cut out or something again. But yeah, I kind of feeling that was going to happen with him, changing to the giant Diablo version of himself, because he's basically the only one that really has superpowers in that movie. But yeah, overall, I think it was cool. Like I said, 8.5 out of 10 is what I would give it. I enjoyed it. Good comedy. Overall, pretty good pacing. I mean, they could have maybe done a little more here and there. Overall, it was cool. Nice little way to kind of connect the DC universe together. So yeah, As usual, check out the site bcactionmr.wordpress.com. Once again, bcactionmr.wordpress.com. And yeah, link will be in the description for all that good stuff. Get your movie news, reviews, and all that good shit. It's your boy Bobby W223, and peace.